off against some of the harder competition. I think the game before this was Linvision for them as well, you know, league-wise, the game before this. So, yeah, it's becoming a bit of a challenge, and we saw a lot of that team play, that team difference coming to a head on the first map, right, with the retakes, the post-plants and stuff. So many, even the 1 rounds, you know, a lot of them were way too close for comfort. So I think Chinggis Warriors just have that pretty solid edge on this team here and should be able to apply it once again to Mirage.
Yeah, that is the expectation, but we're back underway. I'm looking forward to see if there's any response at all coming through from UR. Unfortunately, they just offered up so little to give us any sort of confidence. We'll have to wait and see. At first, fighting towards B. Opener coming through for UR. A second behind it too, which is good. Some damage dealt, sure, but they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, it's a decent start. I mean, a lot of that damage as well will be unrealized. So, Chinggis Warriors have to completely reapproach things here, and at the end of the day, P250 is the only real hope that I think they have, trying to fake things out a little bit with him in on the site. The smoke comes in, draw some attention, but they're not really biting. A wide swing as well comes round and will net yet another kill. They try and give the B-bomb site a second go, but it's just not happening here, is it? Oh my goodness, so awkward. Controllers does manage to take one, but that's all he's going to be able to get.
Tough, to say the least. And, well, not exactly the start that Chinggis Warriors wanted towards the T side. Pretty immediately getting shut down there. Still, very, very early doors. I don't think there's too much to be worried about, but you just got to make sure that you don't, don't sit back and coast. I think it's very easy to do exactly that. And, if that is to happen, they start to get to a point of being in a little bit of a weird spot, right? Don't allow yourself to struggle and dwindle in the early part of this sort of the game. But regardless, I liked what I saw in that first half, or first match, may I say, and I don't know, I really feel like they can kind of come back in and continue to be super, super solid. I just don't really expect it towards this round, unfortunately.
Yeah. Indeed. Check out. Might be able to get away with 1 or 2 kills, though. We got the cheeky USP here. So I'm not sure how I feel about that one. Especially because he might actually get overwhelmed. 4 players coming from the underground. Could be very problematic indeed. Yeah, they're creeping in. Oh, he's just about going to spot them, but, got to be very, very careful approaching the rest of the fight. The M4 is going to have a much better time against the unarmored opponents, of course. And there you go. Say My Name does keep it cool.
Yeah, nice. All right. Just make sure that there's no doubt in that one, of course. We'll just wait in time, kind of buying a bit of time for Chinggis Warriors to come in for their gun round. They're not too worried just yet, but even still, don't allow things to get awkward. You've got to win this first gun round to put the pressure right back on the shoulders. And it probably should be the case. I don't expect things to get too out of hand. But you never know. Things can be a little weird. In towards mid. Just a little early push and a decent amount of control. But there's also been a push coming through ramp. So decent information gain there. This first fight, Spine spotted them out, and they'll have good understanding that that's where the bomb is.
Yeah, it's true. Nuez also taking a swing, taking some damage. So not the best of starts for the Chinggis Warriors. Say My Name trying to find something on this AWP that he is so desperately saved up for. Aracule, meanwhile, with a bit of support, very, very quickly makes his way down short, but the bomb has been cut off. That's kind of the important thing in this round now, so not looking too good. 5 versus 3 and a bomb recovery going to be required. Yeah, this doesn't look good at all, does it? I mean, I'd probably argue that you just save things, especially now. This one feels sort of done, but yeah, still sticking around and going for it a little bit. Ghetto will make his way out of here, and okay, 3 in a row now for UR. Maybe on to something.
And actually very, very easily done too. So, you know, a lot of credit actually in sort of how simple this has been in the early portion of this game. A lot of credit. We're just going to keep out of an AK, if we can, that is. And I think actually for the most part, it probably should be okay. But, man, this has been a little bit uncomfortable. Chinggis Warriors in this T-side of Mirage gone very quiet in the early part. That does worry us just a little bit. Enough so, at least, that I wouldn't even mind a pause out towards the next gun round for Chinggis Warriors. Just as a sort of, in your own head, be able to say, okay, fine, like, we know this has been a little weird so far. Let's just not let things slip away for no reason. Let's start to kind of rekindle the flame in our form in our own regard that we kind of know we can. Don't expect a lot around the save they get here, though, so yeah, pretty simple one. 3-0 should be made 4 without breaking it too much of a sweat. It's great work. I'm really impressed with what I see so far.
Decent for sure. Flash is coming in here. As the A execute gets going, but they are way ahead of it. Rage manages to find one before the bomb goes down, but they've at least created the space to do that. More and more damage coming in here onto the T side of things. Oh, the nade's still available for the CTs. Just got to be careful, though. Awkward smoke here as well, laid down by the T side, and they are looking to work around it. Spine ready and waiting. He is traded instantly. The AWP trying to also get in there, but look at what's happening. Control-S is in behind. Oh, God,
no.
It's so very awkward. Oh, my goodness. Nuez can't find his kill either. There's really not a lot in that now, right?
No.
Hardly any time left, and the HPs, right, make all the difference, but could have easily gone the other way.
Real fine margins type stuff there, honestly. Oh, so one of those where you look back at it and you say, 1 or 2 fights go slightly differently, and I mean, who knows what could have happened, but again, all that really you are or care about is we keep extending this lead slowly but surely, bit by bit, enough so we continue to feel confidence in ourselves. And it's still a little awkward, still a little worrying. I feel like, at least from what I've seen, there's been so much to like about UR in terms of this half, and when you look back at that previous match and how close it was, right? In some of those 1vx situations, genuinely, they'll be kicking themselves with how that first match went. This one, though, a lot harder. This retake as well. As long as, you know, 1 or 2 fights go early towards Chinggis Warriors, they might just call it, waiting for a flash. They're actually not going to get one, so Rune fights alone, but he will do well, and it leaves it all down to say my name with just the AWP. A constellation kill found, but he's getting out. He wants nothing to do with this. And honestly, I don't blame him.
Yeah, definitely looking a hell of a lot better for UR, but I think Chinggis Warriors maybe figuring little bits out, right? The A execute in the previous round came pretty close, so they go for it again. I think they are maybe moving towards their roots of just picking up the pace and trying to force the bomb plants, you know, and that really does allow them the space, and just it causes a bit of panic for UR. Again, not the best on those retakes, so we'll see whether this continues being the case. The only problem on Mirage, it's a little harder to force round on round on round, so yeah, we'll see how it goes into the latter stages of this first half.
Yeah, that same style of play, though, that kind of we saw where it is, you have that ability to play very, very quick, as Chinggis Warriors did on their T side. If we can actually just get that, you know, quite consistently in towards the second, then things could get a little funky, and they could start to be very interesting indeed. An opener for Root. As Miami gets caught, it's quite an important kill. Miami, he does a lot of heavy lifting for this UR side. He gets into the thick of it quite a lot too. So, him out the gates early. Pretty important stuff. That'll help, at least. And I mean, for me, Chinggis Warriors, they've got to prove to themselves that, you know, maybe we started slow here, but we can ramp up and scale in towards this game. I like this aggression from Rage. He is going to get a lot of information. There is no one here. They've got to attract everyone over towards B, and they're already starting to go in that direction. Missed shots from the AWP, though, is definitely not going to help. Rue going to get tagged, but he does his job. Saibane backside. Unfortunately, I think it's too late for him here. He's in the thick of it and now in the flames. That's so brutal.
Yeah, if he still had one more teammate around to help him out, could have been different, but not the case, of course. Bomb goes down. Rage knows he does not stand a chance. So it was a great amount of information, but once again, CW able to play around the burst, around the aggressive notions. And I think they'll be pretty happy with the fact that they are, again, starting to figure out the more individually based game. It is a bit hard, again. They've played so much CS already today, then you come from, you know, a different map, and I'm just not quite sure what to expect. Yeah, that's one of the big things in the Asia-Pacific region, is like some teams can just turn it on all of a sudden. They just need a fresh slate, as it were. Yeah, it can be very, very unpredictable.
It does feel like, as well, for a large portion, that UR did actually just sort of, you know, check out of that previous match, and they were just like, yeah, this isn't, you know, this is not working for us. It is what it is. Let's reset, go next, type thing. And I think I can sort of respect, in a way, what we're seeing out from them now, where they are, you know, slowly but surely getting to a point of looking actually quite confident again in themselves, and it's nice to see. So 4-2, but for UR, at the same time, while they mentally reset and they were looking a little better, you've still got to be just a bit careful. Don't allow Chinggis Warriors to snowball. They did it in that first, and it was so difficult to deal with. Don't allow it to happen again. So far, Chinggis Warriors, back-to-back rounds are nice, and it feels like the third is more or less a guarantee here. You look at how bad the buy is for UR with a Scout at M4, 2 Deagles in the USB. They shouldn't even really have to break too much of a sweat.
Deagle was in for a second, you know, maybe thought that we might be on for something. Hello! Say my name with a wild shot. Does bring it into the 3 versus 3 here, and we'll see. The strong weapon of that M4 is perhaps making its way around. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? I mean, it's decent damage there from the USP. We'll see, though. Scout's got to get involved. There's obviously no kit available for this one. Rage has got a good spot. Oh, it was... Yeah, that's unfortunate. Just as his teammate went down, unfortunately. And surely you just play one player at a time. Controller's going to get it done. So CW bringing it within 1. Taking them some time to get going, as we've been saying. But looking pretty good at the moment. I think give me one more solid rifle versus rifle win. And maybe we start to say, okay, they could take back control of this game. But you are the ball now in their court as well.
Exactly, right? And, you know, with this buy coming back in, there's actually way more pressure on sort of the shoulders, in a way, over towards UR. They've got to make this stick. If they don't, it really makes us feel very, very uncomfortable. Nice early shot, but Rue, one of his own. Still the numbers stay in favor. These AWPs are trying to get up close, and they're not doing too badly, but baited out. The trades are good, but Rage finally settles it in the flames. Knew it's his own Molotov. Sees him over the line. Oh, that was very weird, very wonderful, but it's such an important round coming through. And UR, they needed that. They had lost that one. It would have not only tied the game up, but basically probably gifted over the lead too.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. For sure. You just kind of have to take it in stride and hope that the next rounds won't be as unlucky, in a sense. And they are straight back in with a buy again. Trying to move a bit fast. We'll see if they roll back towards these A executes. deep nadage coming in, but nothing too substantial as yet. A little bit of mid-control for CW. They're just, you know, hanging around, trying to find an early pick rather than moving as a team here.
Yeah. Root in towards mid as new S4s. He needs to reclaim a bit of space. He's going very quick indeed. Up in towards window. Could work against him. There's a slight gap above, but Semaname falls off that angle. So he is actually allowed the luxury of getting out. And he is in the backlines here. Oh my god, they really might overlook this. Control S4s, but oh, I was going to say there's a world. Rue was the make or break in that round, but he's fallen. So that's probably that. Getskid's going to get caught as well, but he will get out with the Mach 10. He looks for an upgrade. Oh my god, he does so much damage as well, and the kill. Hang on, 2v1. He's so low, and no bomb either, but he's got 40 seconds here.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, no bomb is kind of the big thing. But he might be able to get a catch. Bring it down to the 1 versus 1. The 25 HP is certainly not going to help here. Okay, well, we'll see. 15 seconds, though. I don't know that it's necessarily enough time to get that bomb and, you know, get to a bomb site, etc. Spine.
He knows.
Pretty aware of this fact, so really just trying to position himself well, and now there is no time to get it done. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate indeed. Really well played from Spine, though, to just not even really give him the option.
Yeah.
Or at least catch him, like, with knife out or something like this. But, yeah, so here we are. You are looking pretty damn good as they move up to 6.
Yeah, guaranteeing as well. You know, bare minimum is going to be a tie game at the turn of the half. But the way they're playing, we're expecting a lot more. And, of course, with not a lot to work with around that save AK, it's a tough predicament. Some teams do even like to force by here just because of the double eco of one player, but it looks like they're just going to leave him as a hero rifle, and everybody else just can do whatever they want, essentially. Still, you are much more impressive than what we'd sort of been seeing out from them, and this is... It just feels a lot better. I mean, it feels like we've got a lot more of a look in now to the actual level that they can play at, which is exciting. Getskid finds Rage. Nice start.
Yeah, it could be large, to be fair. Trying to get involved as a team, however. Oh, that's a big one from Rue with the Deagle. They know that Spine's in towards CT, takes a fair chunk, so he can't really fight here. Only the one player with armor. There's like one flash, which is really not a lot of utility at all. So this could get very strange very quickly. But as I say, that low HP player is going to make all of the difference here. Flash comes in from the T side. Not really the best. Trades are good, though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Problematic.
No.
Not even going to be able to win against the unarmored opponent there as well. So Rue getting the better of the MP9, and Chinggis Warriors around that you just kind of immediately assume goes against them. Yeah, maybe they get a kill or two or something like this, but it goes their way, in fact. And again, they play very well on the instinctive rush kind of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. It really, again, felt like there was, you know, a moment there to work with, and it just falls flat when you needed a bit of a... Maybe even, like, not even so much a hero, just a bit of stability. A somewhat simple round as a whole, but it fell super flat. That's quite unfortunate. It's giving CW a way back in towards this half. In the final couple of rounds, they can tie it up. They'd be pretty happy. They should be getting this one without breaking that much of a sweat. But, again, another tough one to let slip in the way that it did. Rue will find Rage. So that's not a bad start.
No, this is true.
Just make it simple here, boys. Make it easy for yourself. Don't break too much of a sweat, and thankfully that's looking like it's going to be the case.
That's when the kills come to you. It is a hell of a lot easier. The blind flying 5-7 is certainly manageable. And now just Miami on the other side of the map to where all the action is going down. Can he take anything with him? He's spotted out now, and Rue with a bit of pre-fire in there. He walks into his bullets. Will be the 5th round for CW. I mean, we'll see here. If it goes 6-6, then I really do think we've got a bit of a map on our hands now.
There's a bit of a game opening up. I feel like CW are warming up in towards this one quite considerably, in fact. It's been difficult at times. I think there's been some very kind of slightly funky Counter-Strike in a way, but yeah, not looking too bad. CW, the recovery's been actually quite excellent. They continue to give themselves a chance in this one. The flash is the second flash. He's still alive. How is he still alive? Oh my god, it's carnage. I cannot believe that's worked out for UR.
That's mad. That is so insane. Oh my goodness, and Nuez now left with the impossible task. Have been a couple rounds, I think, that have, you know, gone the way of UR based on some lucky moments, to be fair. Maybe you could argue CW were getting a lot more of those on Ancient.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of wild.
Oh.
An easy find in the end as well. Miami will get it done. So 7-5 at the turn of the half. Feels like a decent position for UR, but we'll see. Can they convert with this?
My suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road. I'm headed to LA. I'm headed on my way. I'm headed on my way to LA. Headed on my way soon.
Couple thousand miles, throw it on the dash. Shit, the 10,000 hours, can't let them pass. Yeah, well, I was putting time in, you was pulled up wildin'. You always had shit to say, now when I see you, it's silence. Thought I have a Grammy by 25. Commas after commas next to dollar sign, yeah. To remind myself why I'm living this life. Look at all the late nights, it'll all come in due time, yeah. Made for the fight, for the pain and the climb. Tied to the life I chose. Stay through the night, another day, not a dime. Race against time. Yeah. I couldn't just lay by and wonder what I could have made mine. I'm closing on the moment, no one's gonna hold me down.
I packed my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Okay, welcome back. 7-5, UR look a lot better. This is a side who feel like there's more of an idea and more of an understanding about what we're trying to do, and maybe Mirage is the map in which they have a little bit more of a clearer idea of how they want to be playing it. CW, we kind of spoke about it a little bit in the break there, Scriv. It feels like they really want to play these defaults and fight, but the fights haven't actually, been favorable. They've been losing a lot of head-to-heads, unlike Ancient, where they got bailed out by mechanics alone.
Yeah, it is true. It is very, very true. I think that they just lacked a bit of that directive. So we'll see here. I would say 2 or 3 rounds in there as well. Were kind of gifted in places, so we'll see if that luck remains. They've been pretty good on the pistols, I'll give them that. So
true.
Could really put them in a strong spot to open things up. But Ghetto Kid's going to find 2 to begin. And it seems I spoke too soon. have lost 3. They've not taken anyone down. They've got no control of anywhere. So this is not a good-looking pistol now.
No, it's not. Yeah, a bit of a tough predicament because you left down to 2 already, Tasiki and Spine. A lot of heavy lifting they've got to be doing in this one. That's not a bad start. They spotted another towards short. 35 seconds though. Time is ticking. Sooner rather than later, we've got to start to make a bit of a move. How do we get in towards a position to plant? I mean, A has some openings. It is a Palace player, though, so Nuez should deny this in every way. And he's just keeping attention drawn. 15 seconds. Bomb trying to go down. There's a CT player. 2 time. It's of the essence. Weird fight here. Play the clock. And oh my god, he will in the end. There was a moment there that could have been a little funky. Thankfully, it is not. So it's okay. And we breathe a nice little sigh of relief, I think.
Yeah, you really have to sort of fight all your instincts there, I think, for sure. And just sort of keep it together, really.
Yeah.
Nuez does a good job in the Palace position. Thought for a moment, he was going to go a bit too wide or a bit too soon and maybe give the chance across, but he really just kept the discipline high.
He really wanted to fight, you could tell. But honestly, quite nice work. Just to dispel any doubts for a moment. Nice opener. Ruben controllers. Easy work against these pistols. Make sure there's no doubt. Make sure it is simple. And again, we can continue trying to shut them down. Ziki also caught. Same for Spine. And the pistols haven't got a much of a look. And MP9 going to get some more cash in the back pocket. So you're pretty happy with that one. 7-all though. Very quickly, we've tied this game up.
Yeah, I mean, it does make a big old difference, of course, when you're able to pick up that pistol. This is kind of the big marking point, though, I think, of this second half, is whether CW can keep it together and keep the momentum rolling, or if, have got a bit of a Mirage behind them and they're about to show us what they are capable of. It's a pretty heavy mid-hit coming in from the T side. CTs will respond in kind, though, with so much utility of their own. Thought the nade was going to be solid there, but I guess Spine just got underneath it. So not as much damage really done initially here.
Well, bit of a fighting towards mid. Early damage being dealt towards the T side. A little bit over towards the CT, but they don't need to fight in mid. They know this is a position that they've lost now. So you can sort of relatively happily just take a bit of a step back and give it up for now. Even still, though, a bit weird with where we're at. You want to try as best you can to use his mid control to scale up in towards the side, but they've got very minimal information. I mean, the bomb's still in spawn, as is the group of them, but it looks like they're setting up for an A hit. It's 3 players in this direction, though, so it's not going to be easy. And Rue is tempted to rotate over, and this would be the right call. Timing-wise, they did as well. 35 seconds, and started to move towards A. There is presence here, though. It's going to be a hard fight for UR. Rage, 1-4-1. Sasiki behind the smoke now as he wants to try and help out this A push. They've contacted out. They have not cleared firebox, though. Basically, anywhere they plant could be brutal if Arakul plays this right. Doesn't spot anybody. He's tunnel visioned in a little bit. Now gets 2, and he will. Great work from Arakul. Looking for a 3rd. He gets the support of Nuez. That is wonderful. Last man of Sasiki. They know where he is, and he was doing a decent job of trying to isolate fights, but he just cannot hit that shot. Good work. Great work. And a lead taken by CW.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been disastrous, to be fair. Arakul was in the right place at the right time, but they'd started to slowly move people towards B as well, you know, so they really had kind of the incorrect read on it, but that position just goes completely overlooked, like you say, and even though the bomb's not necessarily planted for him, he was still able to make something of that position. So, yeah, really, really solid individual move. And CW in with the lead now, I think, looking really, really good in this second half, and it's maybe a little bit more of what we saw on Ancient was just some of those post-plant moments for UR. Not all that effective, and, you know, obviously you're going to have to be playing a lot more post-plants on the T side than on the CT side necessarily, right? And I think that maybe we've seen them in that first half just find a lot of individual openers and whatnot. Yeah, this is just a massacre at the moment. Miami, the only real danger man left alive, and before I even get the words out, he will be dropped. So, yeah, damn, flawless sort of anti-force by that.
It's impressive. It really is. Super, super good to see. We continue to see CW ramping up. They started slow, sure, but yeah, my God, they have actually looked fantastic. No two ways about it. It's so easy from what we're getting out in the early part here. 9-7. You're back in with a bye, but not one that fills you with too much confidence again, because you are struggling to make these ones stick. We got a Galil in play for Spine as the only lesser investment. Messy fight, but a one that works out. Rage will start well, gets one, and actually gets out, which is sort of all you'd ask of him in that spot.
Yeah, it's a pretty good start. And it gives them pretty heavy mid control now. A lot of options. Nuez sort of gives his position away with that Molotov that he's in and around the connector area, so they will be on the lookout. Timing could be good, but no, he will be spotted going for the cheeky move. So it's the double AWPs that maybe have to do a lot of the heavy lifting here. I think they'd like to trim the numbers as best they possibly can. Eric once again in a really good spot, but he gets caught this time around, so it will be a saving maneuver. UR have scaled pretty well there off of that first kill.
Yeah, they have. Oh, that's quick, though. That is a quick shot. Still, though, 1v3 with controllers. He knows there's just no chance in this one. Get out of there. And call it in that sense. And yeah, I don't know. A bit of a tough predicament, I think, is the main thing just in terms of the CW. I feel like they just got a little bit too confident. It's not really what you want to be seeing. Oh, nearly got one at the end there. Doesn't make a difference. Good spot. Good spot that we're in. You are trying to stay competitive and actually doing a fairly alright job of it for now. It's a still, you know, tough predicament for sure, but these might be some ideas. Well, in mid, wanting to try and fight again. I mean, this is something CW that they took a step away from in that previous round as they lost control pretty early. It's trying to reclaim some space. They've got that similar setup with those comp players and are aptly time smoking towards Palace. So that one fades in ramp, especially when it gets blown open by the nade. This could be an opportunity for that AWP. If they overpeak into it, That could be dire in itself. A bit of a knife's edge here.
Yeah, this is a weird kind of maneuver. Spine has walked all the way down mid into the underpass. He's not seen anyone, so I don't really know what he's kind of comming.
Yeah, these mid rounds are very weird, aren't they? By UR, they leave them very, very late.
Yeah, and then they sort of fully rotate back around, or it's not like faking things out. It's, I don't know. It's just quite strange. You can see Rue is in a really good position here. Ooh, doesn't land the shot though. Still, only 20 seconds or so to get into the site. A smoke down makes life very awkward indeed. They're going to roll through their own nades. I mean, I don't know, dog. 10 seconds to get this bomb down. It's nowhere near the site. And there's so many players to get through at the back end of this site. It's just not going to happen.
No.
Yeah, the kills will come round, but you're not going to get that bomb down. You're not going to find the kills that you need. And
After
you're gonna go
time.
down after time. In fact, you still will have enough to buy into the next, but would have been nice to not have that happen, of course.
Yeah, dying off the time like that, it does just hurt the confidence a little bit. Like we said, we can buy. First attack pool is going to be called. I'm right in saying it's actually the first one in the series. So both sides have not been using them that often. But either way, all that we really care about is proof to yourself that you can be in that competitive spot, that you can start to put these, rounds on the board. But it's still now getting what feels like quite late in towards this game. We've got to start, in a position of a bit of that now or never. For you lose this one, your money gets shattered. You not only give over 11, but you probably give the 12th over towards CW2. And at that point, it's probably done. It's tough, with how they've been looking a lot better, but unfortunately, they might be running out of chances.
Yes, that is indeed very true. Slow start into this one. You are just trying not to give their game away once again. Looking for a bit more mid-control than usual.
Okay. Fighting towards ramp. Pretty important one. Nurse, Nadal, bank over. Could do a decent chunk, and it will. Just above half there for Miami. Nicely plays nade. Spine's got support. Just a Tech 9 for him. Molotov trying to choose where it goes down. Ramp is actually a good spot. It's ramping up a split, but the orb's done super well. Controllers just make sure he finds those first two without taking any sort of damage or any pressure, and he finds another behind it. Looks for a fourth. He will get it stolen away there as the rifles come in to close down that space. Good work. Really, really good work indeed.
Yeah, they're looking great here on the CT side, it has to be said. You are with a decent showing of their own on that CT side, but have just not really been able to get going on the T end here. And the Chinggis Warriors, again, showing kind of on that individual level why they are the better squad here.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's rough. I don't think UR have really been able to crack the defense, as it were.
Tough work. We got to go, and this one with just a Tech 9 sort of buy or good a pistol buy. One deagle in play, if I say my name. Bomb plan is what you're looking for, but you've got to find a round out of nothing. And these are rounds that have really been a struggle for UR. Rounds which they're percentage-wise not expected to get. It's not always been the easiest thing for them. And they come, trying to go quick first. Man by Ghetto. It's such a scrappy fight in that smoke and plucked out of the sky. Duck hunting for controllers. As he looks for another smoke will come down in front of his face, but he can jump up on ticket here. And he has so much support with the rifles. There's a lot of util here. dropped by UR to try and give them space, but it's not allowing them comfort in the plant. And they are getting spotted. The last man, they know where he is now. Front of Firebox. And he should be dead momentarily. They're trying to swing on that position. They will. Seen off by Aracule. Match point again. Looking for both back-to-back best-of-1 wins here for CW to get them up to 7 in the season.
Yeah, would be a really good spot to be in, as we've highlighted for this team as well. They've played some pretty difficult opponents in the early stages of this season. Still very, very early on as well, so getting them out of the way, I think they managed to take like a map off Tyloo or something like this, but ultimately not doing super, super well in those games, as you might expect, because, again, the sort of top 5 and then the gap between everybody else tends to be pretty substantial in Asia Pacific. So now they're starting to move on to some of the other teams, and you know, that second round of groups, as it's going to be as the season goes on, and then maybe into the playoffs themselves, which if I'm not mistaken are going to be on LAN again.
Nice.
So yeah, I think should be very, very cool to see whether CW make it there.
We shall see. GW have also had moments where they've been showing some real depth in towards the Mongolian scene. Leg spot to Sasiki given over a freebie as Aracule goes pushing for that information. It's actually a pretty common fight that has been happening. Ramp control on both sides. But this time doesn't work out for the betterment. Opening kill, that's important, but still very much in that now or never.
Rage down below has been a pretty big part of a lot of the opening moments for UR. Trying to find that next frag, but nothing quite presenting here. Oh, it's Rue that kind of follows players from B. A little bit strange for sure. Controller's going to find on the AWP. Oh, this is sort of all over the place. The flash is just too damn good, though.
Wow.
Who somehow manages to survive it. It's all going to be down to Miami. 2 quick kills into the 1v1 here now. He's just got absolutely no idea where Rue is coming in from. And really well played by Rue. Finds that kill in the underpass and completely pivots, changing his position quite massively here. So he should be able to get the catch, he says. And Miami, all of a sudden, Spidey senses tingling, turns around to keep his team alive here.
Okay, this game still is not settled. Still showing us this life left in them. A weird one nonetheless, but all that really matters is that continued proof to themselves. Over time, it does feel like a bit of a far cry, but they've put themselves in an okay spot, right? If UR can find this round here, CW's money gets broken. That should be enough. All things considered. So, what we would generally call a swing round, but of course there's no real swing left. In CW's case, they win the round, they win the match. You all find it, they break the econ, and it will allow them not only a 10th, but probably 11th too. And then we are playing for the final 24. So that could be pretty spicy.
Again, starting pretty slow here. You can feel the tension as you are. Don't want to give away that first frag. Just looking to keep things, be patient. And you never know what sort of aggression might come your way, I think is the logic of this round for them. Once again, though, they've got a player down below. It is Say My Name on the AWP, which is a bit deadly. Timing good there, as the jiggle peak will be enough to keep the connector player alive.
Time ticking, we got to go. They're under 40 here. They're not leaving a lot of time for this to work out, and it doesn't help when they're getting isolated. I feel like they had a bit of a thing internally where They really wanted to fight, and unfortunately things have just not panned out for the better. Nade over towards Firebox does catch Miami. 4v3 in the retake. You're, of course, giving this a go if you are CW. Ghetto Kids has got to have heard this. His timing surely is a guaranteed kill. It's sort of being held for, but the AWP will lose out, and it will. Down goes Spine as well, and this should be curtains for you all. Miami, no chance, as he got naded earlier. So that will be that. There was a moment where it felt like you had a chance. Started off well in towards this match, in towards Mirage, but not to be. Close, but no cigar. It will be a back-to-back win there for CW, which was actually huge for them in terms of the overall standings. They were now up to kind of 7 wins, which is big for them after 14 games played.